we kind of took a hiatus after our big live event on May 15th, which
Yeah,
was
you want to talk about that for a little bit?
so fun. Yeah, so it was great.
Yes, it
You know, at
was.
times we put that event together and I'm like, are we freaking crazy?
Yeah, we had moments where we were wondering
Are we
who
funny?
signed us up for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I signed you
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
My yes friend.
That's right.
But and even Jen, who works for the Alzheimer's Association and is in charge of the Southwest Washington Walk. Remember when we
Yeah,
were
she
done,
wasn't sure.
we were leaving the theater, and I said, Jen, what did you think when I came to you with this idea? And she goes, I wasn't sure. And I was like, stop right there. I'm gonna record you.
Right, because everyone
Yeah.
thinks they're funny on their couch with a glass of wine and their friends. Like
Correct.
everybody does.
Correct.
And we
Yep.
think we're pretty funny, but then like is that actually going to transfer in front of a full audience in a theater
Who do we think we are?
with zero scripting? Yeah, I don't know. We thought we were pretty special, and you know what?
We
We
were.
are.
We're enough. We're enough.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I know.
But before we get
Yeah.
there, that was a great segue.
Yes.
But before we get there,
Yeah.
tell the audience about the end result of
Yeah.
our efforts towards the event.
Yeah, amazing. We did a video, so some of you might have seen that on social media yesterday. But we raised over $10,000. Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. I'd love to double that next time.
And that doesn't include like paying off the venue with the sponsorships that we
Right.
had, and I mean because they were
Right.
pretty amazing. Our sponsors.
Exactly.
Do you want to name them again really quickly?
Yeah,
Johnson
Waste
Bixby.
Connections, Johnson Bigsby, the UPS store with Veronica, Jamie Young with Uptown Screen Printing.
Amy
She
Reeves
did our
and
shirt.
Friends.
Yeah, Amy Reeves and Friends, the
Yeah.
Oven Ready ladies.
Yeah, and we know what that means now.
Yeah,
Oven
yeah.
ready, ladies. We're
Yeah.
on to you now.
Yep, totally. And the audience participation at the
Yes,
event,
yes.
like it was so good. But one thing I know to be true, Mindy, is that when you bring together awesome people, it's just fun.
It is. It is.
But they participated.
Yep.
A gal I
Yep.
know, I don't know who she was. She was sitting at the right, kind of in front of you, a couple
Yes,
rows back.
yes.
She talked about her most embarrassing moment.
She totally did.
And I
Yeah.
didn't know her.
Nope.
And she
She
stood
felt
up and
comfortable.
shared. It was so,
I know.
so good.
And we did have men who joined us. It
Yes.
was kind of a celebrate women and all that is womanhood.
Yeah.
And there were more men who came, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
Because you always love
Hopefully
to
they
know.
did.
Yeah, hopefully they liked it too. But yeah, you always like to know that there are allies of whatever minority group is celebrating
Yeah.
their struggles and their
Totally.
wins. And so to see the men there was really fun. My grown son was one of them.
Yeah.
And even he said that it felt like everyone knew each other somehow, some way.
And they
that
really
it was
did.
really cool. Yeah.
And they really did.
Yeah.
There was a connection
Yeah.
with everyone there.
So thank
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
to
thank
not
you to
only
everyone.
the people who attended and helped us raise the $10,000 for the Alzheimer's Association, for
Yeah.
our amazing sponsors.
Yes.
That was
Couldn't have
insane.
done it.
For Kiggins, we worked with Brad and Versa for the AV, and just
Yep.
everything was great. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so
Annie
much.
at Kiggins Theater.
Oh, Annie was fantastic.
She was fantastico.
And
Yeah.
you were not bad to work with either. I know.
Yeah.
I'm
We-
going to say
yeah.
we worked really, really well as a team.
Yeah, your strengths complemented my weaknesses, vice versa.
You didn't get on my nerves and I didn't get on your nerves, and that is a testament.
Well, really for you. Do you know that London has, my daughter
Right.
has a little fragrance thing in your car? What do you call that? Like
Yeah,
a tree, whatever?
yeah.
But it says, don't let idiots ruin your day. And I told her,
Right.
I said, Mindy
Right.
needs that.
I do. I need that reminder. I totally do.
So that is huge that I didn't drive you crazy.
No, and
we both knew we were
we-
getting stuff done.
we played off each other, like you said. We played off each other's strengths. We let the other one do what we knew they were good at doing.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of trust in the process,
Yeah.
honestly, and it turned out freaking great.
It did. It
Great.
did. And
Yeah.
the longest day for the Alzheimer's Association
Yeah.
is coming up this
21st.
month. Yeah. And so I will talk to Mindy.
Mindy. That's what my fourth grade teacher used to call me, Mindy.
Mindy. Oh my God. See, I'm getting excited and then things just But I have an idea that Mindy and I might do in the community for Longest
Wait,
Day.
okay.
So,
We have to say
stay
I have
tuned.
not heard of
Stay
anything
tuned.
yet, so this is going to be interesting.
But if she says yes, like she normally does,
I'm going to get myself into trouble one of
yeah.
these days.
There's no prep for this one. That's the good news.
Am I enough?
Yes, you are enough.
Am I enough?
But
to
we-
continue to say yes.
Oh, I love it when you say yes. It's so fun because sometimes I just have crazy fun ideas,
I know.
and to have a partner in crime is
And
Fabulous.
I am enough.
yes. We
So
all are.
We should talk about that today.
Let's talk about that. So when was the last time that thought crossed your mind in one way or another? Like,
am I enough?
yeah,
Or
like not the exact words,
right, but am I
the
good enough to
feeling.
do this? Like,
Yeah,
do I have
yeah.
the skills to do this today? 100%
Yeah.
today. Going into a meeting that was really important to me and the client. And it's kind of like before you get on stage, you have all these like thoughts that flood your brain
Yeah.
of like, I can't do this. I'm so nervous. I didn't do
Yeah.
this right. And then you get there and you're like,
Yeah.
why was I thinking all those self-doubt thoughts? Because
Yeah.
it's fine. It's better than fine. I'm killing it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we're good. We're a partnership. We work great together.
Exactly.
Why am I like doubting myself?
I know, and it is the ego in our mind,
Mm-hmm.
the saber-toothed tiger that is trying to protect us. And so I'm trying to see it more, though I lost sight of that this week, see it more as an ally. Like, hey, I call her Sally. You know,
Oh, you have Sally. I have Cheryl.
yeah, really?
Yeah. Sally and Cheryl should get together over
So,
drinks.
yeah. So you don't know who you're getting at what time, but
No,
like
you don't.
Sally, like just it's okay.
Yeah.
Like just get in the passenger seat. It's okay. But this morning I was on a connection call, a virtual call, and it's for people that make 7 figures or more. And this might be
The one I couldn't get into. Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, stay tuned. You could have gotten into it. But it's a little bit different when you're a one-man show. You know, when you have a big operation, it's easier to get there. But so I'm in the 7-figure group by the hair of my chinny chin chin, and believe me, there's some hairs there. And there's amazing women, and they have no egos. They're fabulous. But one gal was like, yeah, so this is my company, and I help companies go from 7 million to like the 10 million. And I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, like,
And you immediately go there.
and I could just feel it in my body.
Yep.
And my confidence, and then I wasn't speaking up as much.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. So I think this happens to women
No matter what.
so much of the time. Like the stats are like 60%.
Oh, yeah. No,
Of women?
No matter what.
Yeah.
I don't care who you
Of the
are.
time?
I
Yeah.
guarantee, like, I mean, that's how some overachievers get to where they are because it is never enough, right? And they use
Right.
that as a tool.
Right. It can be a benefit to keep
But-
you on your toes,
But
keep you
you
motivated.
have to be really careful about keeping it in check so that it
Yeah.
doesn't become all consuming and you're focusing on the negatives,
Yeah.
but you're allowing it to serve you
Yeah.
as you can push yourself a little more.
Yeah.
Or, you might want to try this in a different way. It's a good thing when you have ambition,
Right.
as long as you keep it in check.
Yep. And every attribute that is a positive thing
Yep.
also has its negative side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So and if it's kind of like, I always love to say, it's kind of like if you're a parent and you're like, I'm worried I'm not a good parent, you're probably a good parent
Probably.
because you're actually asking that question. So the
That's so
women
true.
listening, the women
so
listening
true.
today,
Yeah.
whether you're at home or work part-time or full-time or
Yeah.
whatever the hell you do, you're retired. If you're worried about your purpose and giving to the community or helping your clients or whatever, you probably are a high achieving person. Let's just say that. Let's just throw that out there. And then if you have that level, then you got to watch yourself on these thoughts because these thoughts are not
Yep.
helping us.
Absolutely. And they can
Yeah.
become invasive. And as I was thinking about the podcast today, I always like to put things in buckets. My whole brain is like in buckets. Everything
Okay.
has its
Yeah.
place. And if it doesn't, I have to give it a place. Like it's
Okay.
a weird thing for me. And so when
Give
it
me an
came,
example really quick.
Well, for this, I'll just
Okay.
give you. I'll,
Oh,
I'll,
okay.
I'll tell you about this. So when I'm thinking about am I enough and the topic,
Yeah.
it's like, in what areas of life do we think those invasive negative thoughts? Physically is one bucket, right? Emotionally is
Yeah.
another bucket, and then intellectually is another bucket. So
What
I
about
kind of
relationships?
well, that could be in your emotional
Yeah.
bucket,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
And so yeah, and so
Thanks, Mindy.
You're welcome, no problem.
That was good.
So like the physical bucket is huge for women in particular. And as
Huge.
I was digging, this is alarming to me. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. No.
The totally like rude statistics on this. 44% of women report negative feelings about their bodies.
Oh, I believe it.
And only 4% of women consider themselves beautiful.
And the 4% that consider themselves beautiful, do we all, the rest of us, hate them because they actually are
Is that
good with
not
them?
crazy?
I think it's crazy,
You're telling
and I
me
think
that
it's true.
96% of women do not think they're beautiful? Come on.
All the time. Like, let's say,
Like for the most part.
yeah, like let's say 80% of the time they think they're beautiful.
Right. And so that is just a direct
Yeah.
reflection of the world we live in with social media bombarding us.
Society,
Marketing.
yeah. everything. It's a comparison.
So crazy
And once
to
we
me.
start comparing, we start spiraling.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true for you. but
Totally.
I can
What do
just,
they say? Comparison
Ooh.
is the thief of joy.
I thought you were going to ask me that to fill in the blank, and I was really
Oh,
nervous.
I should have put you on the spot.
She looks
damn
at
it.
me and she's
Oh
like,
no, it's coming. Don't worry. I got another one coming for you.
all right.
And it's everything from body. That's huge, right? Of
Huge.
I'm too big. I'm too small. I have too flat of a chest. I have too
I
big
have
of
no
boobs.
butt.
I have no butt. I have
my
too big of a
butt's
butt.
too big. Yeah.
It's like it's never ending. My skin's too pale.
Yeah.
I can't get tan.
have too many
or I'm
freckles.
too dark. Or I have old age spots. I have
My hands
wrinkles.
look like I'm 80.
Oh, it's
Okay, I'm going to stop.
exhausting.
And
It's exhausting.
I'm really trying to work on this right now.
I know,
And
I
I've
know.
become self-aware, a little bit more self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how many times these thoughts are coming
All the
up
time.
for me.
all the time.
And then I'm mad at that because I'm like, crap, will you stop it? You're driving me crazy.
It is an emotional load that we carry with us
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it is exhausting. And then you couple in having kids. And,
Being in a relationship.
right? And
That's the emotional.
that is the emotional. So that's that whole thing of when we were talking about
And a job.
expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that. Remember we had a podcast, I think
Yeah.
it was episode
3.
that was wins.
Oh, that was
the other
celebrating.
managing expectations was 2.
Yes,
Episode
2.
2. And it was a my feelings aren't valid enough because I'm not getting that external appreciation or acknowledgement
I'm working on
that
that,
I
too.
so need to feel good enough about myself.
Yeah, that fills that bucket.
Right?
Yeah. And then once we can not have that as a need, because you said that. Yeah, you said that. That was really profound. Didn't you say that now that used to be one of your love language?
Yep.
We were talking about love languages.
Yep.
And you said words of affirmation used to be yours.
Used to be.
But it's not anymore. And she said, drop the freaking mic. It's because I don't need that affirmation, those words of affirmation to feel good. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, I got a lot of work to do.
Well, and it's not all the time, right? I still
yeah,
need
totally.
external validation.
We all do.
We all do.
But it's not to a codependent, needy.
No.
Yeah.
But
that's
that
amazing.
has been a result of living by myself, coming home to
Yes.
myself, going to sleep by myself,
Yes.
waking up to myself, living life by myself,
Yes.
and really training my brain to be solid. Not always great, but solid. Like
Yeah.
I've got a really good foundation now of
yeah.
when I hear those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts of he or she didn't validate me the way I needed them to.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why did I need them to?
Right.
You know you did a great job. Move on with life.
Let
That's right.
them. I forgot
So
my let them this week.
you did. What did
Last week, yeah, I had a little, yeah, and I was just a little annoyed, a little triggered. Where it's just like a let them, Natalie. It's not a big deal. Nothing they did wrong, absolutely nothing. And Doug, my man,
Sure.
okay, we'll go with that. I was saying, yeah, sometimes I just need to take my hands off the steering wheel or sit in the passenger seat. You know, I've talked about that a lot. And he said, yeah, sometimes you just need to get out of the car. And I was
Like
like,
specifically, sometimes you need to get out of the
or
car.
others. Hi,
Oh,
Jack.
there's our guest. He'll be with us in a sec.
Make yourself comfortable,
Yeah, no
bud.
kidding.
So yeah, I think we're all kind of suffering from I'm not enough or we're not enough.
100%.
And then I think that there is some jealousy for the people, the 4% that are like, girl,
Yeah.
I got it going on.
Yeah, and those are just really annoying people to be around.
Because we want what
I'm
they
not.
have.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, are they really that self-aware if they think they're all that?
I feel Nikki
I don't know.
Glasser coming into this conversation, don't you?
Yeah,
Comedian Nikki
yeah,
Glasser.
yeah.
And
Oh
what
my
she says
gosh,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
I think the emotional part of it that you and I have talked so much about of my feelings aren't valid and I'm not enough. As we get older, we'd think that we would lose sight of that, right? We'd think we would become better. And yet, when we try to start a new relationship after post divorce, we're like, maybe I'm too broken. Maybe I'm carrying too much baggage with me. Maybe I'm too
Oh, yeah, you go
hung
through
up
that.
on these things. Maybe I
Will I
don't
always
see
be
my red
alone?
flags. Yeah, right. Woe is me.
But here's the thing, Mindy. I'm going to take it a step further.
Okay.
So now I'm entering into a relationship.
Yep.
And I'm very like, ooh, breathe deep. And I'm going through that in the relationship too, of like, okay, I need to tell him a few things about my story in my life. I need to tell him about the hair on my chinny chin chin. And am I enough in that?
Will he still love me
Yeah.
in spite of my flaws?
Yeah. And really, I know the answer.
He will.
He will. Hands down.
Because he's a great guy.
Because he's a great guy, but it's more it's me saying it. It's the shame or the
So you have done work around this. What
Yeah.
have you done for people listening? Like, what have you done so far that has really helped you rewire the way your brain processes that self-doubt and I'm not good enough?
Yeah. I try and either journal or mentally journal. Sometimes I love when the alarm goes off and I press the snooze, and that's just like my 9 minutes. It's not 10, it's always 9 minutes on snooze. I don't get that.
I don't know why that is either.
Yeah. Someone can tell us that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There
that
has to be a
9 minutes
reason.
where I keep my eyes closed and I think about what I'm grateful for, but also what's going well. So
So
thinking,
you wake up in the morning, every morning doing that.
yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. So thinking about what is going well, and that literally reprograms your brain. It makes Sally calm down a little bit. You know, that ego, my Sally, the ego. And it's proof. You're proving to yourself, gosh, Minnie and I just put on this great event, raised $10,000. My business is solid. Things are going well. I have an amazing team. My girls are doing great.
Yep.
I have a great relationship with my husband. I've got this man in my life that I'm not sure what to do with because he's everything that I've ever wanted. And then you're just like, oh my God.
Your nail color is fantastic.
Yeah, my nail.
And there's so many things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
things. You
Yeah.
can always find things.
Yep.
But and proving to yourself that, and I'm literally lately just trying to go, okay, there's a little very low level of anxiety sometimes when I'm working because I'm, a high achiever, whatever. And it's like, when I tell myself, like, Natalie, you are right where you need to be.
Yep.
As long as I know I'm checking those boxes, right?
Yep.
Go be done at 3, be done at 3:30, go take a nap when you need to, enjoy life, blah 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 blah. That helps me just kind of,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah. How about you?
I think it is a lot along those lines. Remember when we took the positive intelligence coaching with our friend Laura last fall, and one
Yeah.
of the things was when you wake up in the morning, you just made me think of it. You put both feet firmly
Oh,
on the
right.
ground.
Right.
You sit up in bed, you plant your feet firmly on the ground, and then you stand up. Really being present with that moment of I am alive
Yeah.
and I'm in charge of my day and how I feel about it.
Exactly.
And that
Yeah.
has really, in the smallest way, kind of shifted the way I wake up in the morning.
Nice. So you still do that. That's
Yeah.
great. Good for
I do that
you.
every day.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then tuning into the senses.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if you're driving, I've been really practicing not putting even music on and just driving.
Oh.
I know, I think of you. I'm like, Mindy, be so proud. Should I
I
text her
am
and tell her
proud of you.
how proud she should be of me? But
That's
yeah,
so
just like,
cute.
I feel the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the birds or the wind or the cars. I see the mountain ahead.
Isn't that weird that those behaviors can directly transfer into you feeling better about yourself?
Yeah.
It's not like it
Because
seems kind of weird that that would be, but it does.
but at the same time, when you are present,
yes.
and getting into your five senses gets you
Yes.
present. When you're present, you cannot be thinking in the future or the
True.
past.
It's so true.
And most of us either go to the past or the future. And I go to the future. And
Future
Doug
shipping.
and Doug said to me, this was another conversation we had. And he said to me, "What do you need right now from me?"
And you're like, no one's ever asked me that. I don't know.
Ba 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 ba
Yeah.
ba.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm having a hot flash.
Yeah.
So cheers to menopause. Don't leave me hanging. Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Woohoo!
Poor thing.
Okay, should we go on to some practical things?
Yeah, I also
Or what
want to
else?
say, just mention really briefly about like the am I enough from a career
Yeah.
intellectual standpoint of there's some of us who did really, really well in school and we always kind of believed in ourselves academically and we would succeed in the workforce and we just always gotten that recognition for our brains. And then there's
Yeah.
others of us who really had to work in school and we did okay. And then we didn't always do okay. And then we did really well. And
Yeah.
and we didn't always get the credit for being an intellectual. And so sometimes even though we are smart adult professional women,
Yeah.
we hear those little voices that tell us
yeah.
you're not that smart.
Oh yeah.
Don't try to pretend you are.
Yeah.
You're not kidding anyone.
I think a lot of women go through that.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
a shame, right?
And by the way, if you're this second example where you've had to actually work hard for whatever grades you got, I would much rather be that person because you know resilience, you know hard work, you know what it takes to get there and to feel that. Where if everything just comes easy, then you don't know what it's like to
We
fail.
know this is true. We know this is
Yeah.
true. Absolutely.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah. And you know as well as I do, women in the workplace, like how often we're overlooked and how often we're talked down to and how many condescending remarks we have to go through to get where we want to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all of those experiences fill our brain with that self-doubt.
Yeah.
But maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not ready for this position.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I tend to be of the school of thought of, I'm just going to do it and I'll figure it out. Right? Sign me up. I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just sign
Right?
up and do this comedy
And
show and
mind you,
it'll
I'm
be
full
great.
of doubt the whole time, but I'm still like just jumping in and doing it.
But that is an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
that is a high
totally.
achiever.
Totally, yes.
It's the
yes,
fire
yes.
that you have inside that
Yeah.
goes, I know I need to start speaking. I know I need to write a book. I know I need to start my own business.
Wait, who's doing that?
All of you. You. That's all
Okay,
of you.
that's all my personalities.
Yeah. No. All those things. And we go, we're scared
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
there's something in you that says, I got to do this.
Yeah.
But that is also what keeps me alive.
Totally.
It's the passion, it's the focus,
the excitement,
The
right?
excitement and stickers. When we make stickers, we have some good
We
stickers.
do love our stickers.
Yeah,
They turned
they're
out great.
Good job,
I mean,
Mindy.
the water bottles were pretty damn cute too.
Yeah.
But the stickers win.
Yeah, the stickers are great.
All right, let's talk about some strategies.
Okay. You're putting me on the spot. No. Okay, so I want to talk about number 2. So you get to talk about number 1.
Okay, number 1 of just challenge that voice, that inner troll that tells you you're not enough, you're not doing enough. You messed this up last time. What makes you think you can do it this time?
Yeah.
What makes you think you're smarter?
Yeah.
And I would just say, like, it's time to just, not to your point, don't even put them in the back seat. Throw them out.
Just get
Kick
out
them
of
to
the
the curb.
frickin' car.
Kick them to the curb and
Yeah.
keep driving.
Have a mantra.
Well, this is it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say to a friend?
I would say not today, Satan.
There
You
you
know,
go.
from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. So-
or not today, Sally. Or not today, Cheryl.
That's it.
Karen.
And that's it. That's the mantra
Yeah.
that we have to do of,
Yeah.
would we let our friend talk like this? I get on you,
She does.
right?
And I was like,
When
oh my
she-
God,
when
I
she
didn't even
negative
know I did it.
self-talks, I was like, no, stop it. So we need to do the same thing to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are our best friend.
And I notice when I put my foot down with
Yep.
myself and go, we're not going there.
Yep.
I feel so much better.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great
Not
strategy.
today,
then.
Sally.
So we challenge you who's listening, if you have this inner voice, which we know you do,
Yeah.
just say, what would you say to that friend? And maybe it's not today. You're not doing this to yourself.
No.
Nope.
Maybe another day.
Okay.
See you around.
Yeah. So
So
next
celebrating the tiny wins.
one. Hey, we did a podcast on this.
Yeah, exactly. So that was episode 3, if you want to go back. Episode 3 out of 5. And of course, we love to celebrate the big things, right? Super important. But the tiny things are just as important. And there's something to celebrate every single day. London, my daughter, her tire went flat. She had to call AAA at the house. They took her over to the tire store, whatever. She's like, there was just a nail in my tire, and they do free repairs.
Yep.
And I'm like,
I love discount
that's a
tire.
win. That is a win today.
That's right. That's right.
So any little win.
I love that.
Yeah. What's your little win?
Oh man, my little win is that I haven't gone off on my management company where I live yet.
Oh, how's the
Yeah,
dog
they're driving
barking?
me. They're driving me crazy, but that's okay because I have not gone off, and I have had conversations at a very
Thanks,
reasonable,
Lexapro.
right, at a very reasonable, low volume, adult manner, and I'm quite pleased.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
am
much.
So proud of you.
Thank you. I am too.
Okay.
So then, also, setting goals that matter to us is really important. To overshoot this voice of you're not good enough, to say, wait, no, not only am I not good enough, but I have these goals that I've set for myself that are achievable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to freaking go get them.
Yeah.
I am going to achieve those goals.
Right.
And they matter.
Yeah,
And right.
totally.
And when you fill your life with purpose, that's where that passion and excitement comes in.
And little goals.
Yeah.
Start with little goals.
Yeah.
you
10-minute
know?
walk.
Yeah. My mom always says, just go for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, you'll feel like going. Yeah. It's putting on your shoes is the hardest. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have goals right now that
Oh,
you
yeah.
set for yourself that you know you always feel better when you do them and feel better about yourself in general?
Yeah, I'm re-looking at my my like downtime, and like I think I'm like today I need to wash my hair tonight. And so I'm like I'm going to wash my hair, and then I'm going to do kind of a beauty routine in the evening.
Nice.
So it's done and I'm feeling like I'm taking care of myself
Yep.
a little bit.
Yep.
All the things I need to do. So I'm kind of playing
The
around with that a
listeners
little
don't
bit.
know it's been 5 weeks since you've washed your hair.
3 days.
Oh, that's good. That's about same.
Yeah.
Yeah, cadence. I think that's good. That's nice. Like
Yeah.
self-care time.
Yeah, and there's just things that I want to do. Like I want to put my whitening strips
Yeah,
on. And it's like, when do
yeah.
you do that?
Right.
Like every Saturday? That's, whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there's some skincare things, or, extra shaving or, stuff,
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
I think
So,
we get it.
Yeah. Let's move on.
So this is the next one is really true or close to our hearts, And that's
Yeah.
an assemble your village, assemble your hype squad, assemble the people who bring out the absolute best in you, who lift you up, and who you feel the same about, who you want to see succeed. And
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a long time to get there, right? I've been hit or miss throughout my life. There's been phases, times in my life where I've had that. And then there's been a decade where I didn't have that. And it's all about who you choose to surround yourself with. And I unfortunately chose to surround myself with not always those people, right? And it made a world of difference in every aspect of my life, from how I
Oh, right.
worked, where I worked, what
Your
I did for
attitude, your
extracurricular, yep, my
yeah.
attitude,
Yeah.
how I raised my kids,
Right.
everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this one gets easier as you age. But I would encourage everybody, no matter what age you are, is surround yourself. And if things go down in a relationship, there's probably a reason for that. And there's a silver lining that that was kind of like cleaning house, because I've had that
Totally.
happen.
We both have recently.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
okay.
And I feel so okay with it,
I feel
because it's like
so much lighter.
only vulnerable women who are all about keeping it real. When I ask how you are, it's not roses
Yep.
and perfect nails or whatever.
Yep.
It's,
Yep.
you know, and that support each other, lift each other up, truly care about each other. And if that's not who you are, that's fine, but you're probably not going to be in my close bubble.
Yeah, and I think those women who maybe are listening right now and they're like, I just don't have that. How do I get that? I For me, I had to uncomfortably put myself out there. And it is weird
glad
at
you're
first
bringing
because
that
it's
up.
almost like blind dating, where you're having to put yourself very vulnerably out there in front of new faces, in front of new people who you
Yeah.
don't know. They don't
Yeah.
know you, but that's kind of also the excitement of it.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up, because I don't think that there's ever, I've never thought that, because that's just so natural for me. But I need to remember that it's not very natural
Oh
for
no,
people.
God no.
You know,
No.
finding people that have the same likes, the same values as
It's
you
not
do.
easy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not easy at
Okay.
all.
Maybe
And
we need to do a show on that.
it would be worth it. I think, there's a
Yeah.
lot of groups out there like over 40 hiking groups,
Yeah.
or women who
Meetups.
coove, and
Yeah.
meetups. But it can be tough to take that first step. Again,
Yeah.
it's like putting on your shoes. Like, how do you just get out the door and go meet someone brand new
Yeah.
and take that time to build that relationship? But you and I are a testament, because we've only known each other a little over a year.
Yeah. We had our 1 year anniversary.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Did you like the roses that I sent?
I didn't get the roses.
Bullshit.
I was waiting for
Bullshit.
Klondike bars.
You didn't get those either?
I almost stole one
Well, they're
while I
gone
was
now.
here.
Protect your peace like it's gold.
Yeah.
That goes with
Can
that,
you say boundaries? Yeah. Again, everyone's talking about boundaries.
Yep.
And it's good we're talking about it. Healthy boundaries, or what I like to call friendly fences.
Oh.
It's kind
When
of a
did you come up with
softer-
this?
I didn't. I stole it from somebody, and
I've never heard that. I
yeah,
like it.
isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit softer.
Are they white picket fences, or are they barbed wire?
Ooh, they're a little pointy,
They're a
but
little
you
pointy?
can't really tell how pointy they are
Okay.
until you sit on them.
Oh.
So,
Okay. I like it.
but having healthy boundaries. And my daughter London has a great saying that goes, let me see if I can think of it. She goes, it's don't let it's better to let others down before you let yourself down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So when she's trying to make a hard decision, we have that guilt or that strain or whatever. It's like, don't say yes and let yourself down.
That's right.
Sometimes you have
That
to let
people
others
pleasing.
down. Exactly.
Yes.
But it's a smoother line, but I'll get it.
Yes. I totally see
Anyway,
where you're going
yeah,
with that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And make sure like your self-care routine you're going to do tonight. Like, that's peace. That's giving yourself a chance to just be, listen
Yeah.
to some music, listen to a podcast, read a book.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you time.
Totally.
And like, that to me is gold.
It is. It's so important.
Yeah, just
And that's the
turn
beauty of
off
being
the noise
single.
of the world. It is, but
Yeah.
even if you are a mom, especially if you're a mom and you're running a family and you've got a husband and you've got all kinds of chaos around you, carve out that time.
10 minutes a day at least.
However you do it,
At least.
right? So that
Whether
you
it's in the
have
toilet room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who spends way too much time in the bathroom just for that reason.
Hey,
To
that
get
is a
away from the
strategy.
noise of the house.
That's a strategy.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be with you when I can. Don't
Lock.
disturb me.
Lock. You don't want to come in here.
Right.
Enter
But
at your own risk.
But it's kind of true. You got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. It's a strategy.
Okay, are we going to sing? I feel like a song is going to be belted out here in a second.
Ooh, I'm kind of nervous.
Y'all know Darius Rucker.
Love
Um,
Darius.
You know, I'm a
met
OG
his aunt.
Hootie fan.
I met his aunt.
I know. I remember you telling me that.
She was the bus driver on a comedy tour in Nashville. And they said she was
That's
Hootie's
right.
aunt. And I said,
Hey.
do you call him Hootie or Darius? She goes, Hootie.
Hootie. Hey, Hootie.
But he has a song called When Was the Last Time You Did Something for the First Time? And I love that line because I'm all about experiences and I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing something new, which a lot of people don't.
True. True.
And this is talking about doing something brave to put yourself out there that's new and different to kind of gain that confidence. So,
I just thought of,
oh, yeah.
oh my gosh.
What is
I
it?
totally. So if those of you listening go to our website and we've got a whole photo video gallery from the Laugh to End Alzheimer's. And I wore those like neon greenish yellowish pants.
They were blue.
No, they're like green. Our shirts were blue.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, it was as bright could be, and it was so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just loved them so much.
Yeah.
And the voice did. When I was holding them up after I tried them on,
Yeah.
put them back on the hanger, and I'm walking to check out, I'm like, come on, you're not going to wear these. People are going to freaking make fun of you. Like, you are not that. You're not that person who wears those colors.
Did you buy your glasses at the same time?
No,
'Cause
I
they
had
match.
those already. So that was the thing. And I'll tell you what, when I finally kicked that voice out of my head and said, who cares, Mindy?
Who
Like,
the
who
frick
cares? I had so much fun in those damn pants.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
made me feel like alive in those energetic colors that I don't normally
cool.
wear.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, literally.
So much so you were on the ground. You fell on the ground.
I ended up
with
on the
tickets.
ground picking up tickets.
Yeah.
Like a very, yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
before the podcast, we were talking a little bit about like we both like to take new routes, go down new roads, and I just
Love it.
love it. And I was going from Newburgh to Portland, and it took me the back roads, roads I'd never been on. There's the Berry Barn that I want to go back to, rolling hills, beautiful homes. Oh my gosh.
Especially in this area?
Top down. It
Holy
was
cow.
fabulous.
Wait, your
Not
car
this
top down,
time.
not that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just making sure.
Anyway,
With
I
you,
know.
I don't know.
I know. I know that was coming. I know that was coming.
But yeah, I mean, in this area in the Northwest, like,
yeah.
holy cow, there's so much to explore just right here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go 3 hours away.
No, but I want to go to the Olympic National Forest. I've done that.
I'm going in a few weeks.
With Shauna?
Uh-huh.
I knew it. Oh, yeah, because you
Yeah.
planned that. Very cool. Okay. So a couple things you can do. 2-minute tasks. So if you've got a task you need to do, and I've got a great little, what do you call it? Little,
Don't know where you're going with this. Can't help you out.
a helpful hint. We'll just call it a helpful hint. What do you call it? A life hack. A life hack.
Oh, 2-minute life hack.
Okay, so if you are just dreading starting something, then start it for 2 minutes. So moms and parents, if you have kids at home and you need to clean up the house,
Yes.
what I used to do is I used to say, okay, I need you guys for 10 minutes. And every one of us are going to go around the house
So do
pick
you
stuff
set the
up.
timer? I used to set the timer.
I
with my
set the
kids.
timer.
Okay, yeah.
And
I
we
did
put
too.
music on.
Yep.
And for 10 minutes.
I remember, and it all depends on the age, right? Because when they're little, they couldn't focus that long. And I
Yeah.
remember I used to do like a quick 3 minute of like, let's see how many things
Yeah.
you can clean up in 3
Clean
minutes.
up,
And then the
clean
timer
up.
would be set. So they'd be like watching the timer.
Yeah.
But then as they get older, that's not
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, totally.
And they're like, really, Mom?
That's okay. You don't have to
Yeah,
have very
totally.
much fun. Like,
Totally.
I need you for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that helps.
And you can do anything for 10 minutes.
Here's another life hack. So if you need to organize a drawer or whatever, and you only have 30 minutes to do this, let's say a whole room, maybe more drawers than one, start your timer and put it for 15 minutes. So you are cleaning out for that 15 minutes. And when the timer goes off, the next 15 minutes is this goes here, this goes in the garbage, this goes to Goodwill, this
Maybe
gets
we need a
recycled.
podcast for organization.
Sorry.
Organization life hacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a really good.
We go on so many tangents.
Well, it's really just you.
This is true. Okay. Bring us home, Mindy. Bring us
Okay,
home.
well, here we go. I would just say, we all have that voice. You're not broken because you have that voice nagging at you all the time of, you're not good enough. You're not behind anyone else. You're not alone. God knows you're not alone. We all have that voice, and yet we got to just turn the volume down a little bit or
Yeah.
kick it to the curb and let it walk home on its own while we keep driving.
So in the little chat or show notes, or not show notes, but comments, let us know what your mantra is,
Yeah.
or if you have one, or what it's going to be.
Totally. I
Not
would
today,
love that.
Sally.
Not today, Cheryl.
Not today, Sally.
Cheryl wears a cardigan. She likes cardigans, so I'm not wearing one.
All right, I won't say
Now,
what Sally
before
does.
we leave you today, Natalie has a really exciting announcement of an upcoming guest that we're going to have on our
Yes.
podcast. Not only is it going to be our first guest,
Yes.
which we will
First
continue
guest.
to do in the future, but the fact that she's our first guest is exciting.
Is amazing. So Kate Byers, Byars, she is the founder of the Good Life Institute. I've done her program. Amazing. It's life-changing. She was the keynote speaker at the Greater Vancouver Chamber of Commerce Inspire Her conference. She was amazing there. And she really has a passion for women who feel burnt out and they can't go farther in their career because they're like, I can't handle things the way they are right now. And she really just brings it down to the basics of we all have 7 human needs and filling those buckets to create flow, and that you don't have to be running around with your head cut off, basically. So she's got a lot of insight. She's funny. She's sassy.
She has some great anecdotal stories that really
Yes.
resonate with any audience. She's a fantastic speaker.
She is, really. So I'm very honored that she's going to come be our first guest here. So that is coming up in 2 weeks.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know of her yet, maybe I was pulling her up on LinkedIn as you were saying that.
Yeah.
It's Kate, yeah?
Yeah. But it might be Caitlin.
Oh, maybe.
I know her by Kate.
Kate.
Yeah.
Caitlin, maybe.
When was the last time
Oh, that's
you
our-
did something
that's
for
our
the
note to
first
go.
time?
Okay, so there you go. Again, thank you for
Yes.
Laugh to End Alzheimer's. We appreciate everybody's contributions, participation, engagement, all of that. We couldn't have done it without you, and we're so grateful.
Yes.
Thank you for joining today.
Yes.
This was fun.
Yes, it was.
Um,
Sorry for my tangents.
No.
I have a
no,
lot.
no.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I know you do, and I love them.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Enjoy the weather if you're in the Pacific Northwest.
right.
And go do something for yourself for 10 minutes every day.
Yep.
And figure out what your mantra is. We want to hear it.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.